Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Miami Beach Auditorium for a spectacular performance of professional wrestling. It was me, Eddie, and Cliff. Eddie looked like Al Pacino. Cliff looked like the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. And we were sneaking into the back door of the Miami Beach Auditorium. We didn't have any money. We didn't have 50 cents for the admission ticket, but we'd sneak in on Friday nights. And I heard, and tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a Wrestle Royal. All the wrestlers will be in the ring at the same time. Come on, Eddie, Cliff, hurry, they're starting. Louie, don't be in such a hurry. You know wrestling isn't real. No one gets hurt. People get hurt in wrestling, it's real. Let's go, let's go. We make our way into the auditorium. People are sitting low, medium, and high, and they're smoking cigarettes. And you can see the smoke rising up to the ceiling, swirling around those bright white lights like clouds. And people are walking around. Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks. Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks. And tonight, I want to introduce our first wrestler, Chief Don Eagle. Chief Don Eagle's a real American Indian. He has eagle feather headdress from his head all the way down his back.
Nice.
And he wears a deerskin jacket and pants. And he's so strong, he looks around at the audience that you know he's gonna win. Our next wrestler is Gorgeous George. Anyone here of Gorgeous George? All right. We have a make pretend Gorgeous George tonight. Whoa, please stand up. He has blonde hair and he has little trinkets in his hair and he throws them out to the audience. Who wants one? Our next wrestler tonight is El Toro. He wears a red mask, red swimming trunks, and he hides sharpened shells in his swimming trunks. And when he gets the other wrestler in the headlock, he scratches out their eyes. Scratch! Ref, turn around, he's scratching his eyes out. The next wrestler, ladies and gentlemen, is the Swede. The Swede walks into the ring, shoulders out like this. Unbelievable how large he is. And our last wrestler, oh look, it's Antonio Argentina Rocca. Anyone ever hear of him? Fights barefooted. He flies across the ring and he walks around the ring on his hands. He fights the other wrestlers with his feet and legs. The referee points to the timekeeper. Hit the bell, hit the bell. And they start marching around the ring like this. All the wrestlers in the ring at the same time. And then all of a sudden they grab each other by the shoulders and the neck and they're grappling back and forth, just like me and my dad used to do. When he came home from work, I would grab my dad and we'd be wrestling in the living room. And then one day they told me he can't wrestle anymore, he got sick. And I didn't know how sick he was. And he passed away. I was 7 years old. And my life has never been the same since. And then Gorgeous George and El Toro grabbed the Swede and they ram him into the corner of the ring. And there's cushions there. But they missed and his head went through the ropes and hit the steel outside and his head blew up like a balloon. And the referee, he pointed at the timekeeper, hit the bell, the fight's over. And all the wrestlers came over and they helped the Swede to the side of the ring. And they brought a gurney out, and they wheeled him to the back of the auditorium toward the dressing rooms. I knew where they were going. And it was like I was magnetized, and I started walking back toward the dressing room, and I saw the Swede was on a table. His legs were so long off the table, and I put my hands behind my back, and I inched my way into the dressing room. No one asked me to come in, and I was just making sure. I was next to the wall. It's my only security. And there was a man there with a big tie. He looked at me, and he put his hand in his pocket, and he pulled out a quarter, and he flipped the quarter up in the air, and it went over and over and over again. And I caught it, and he said, "Hey kid, run down to the drugstore and get the Swede some aspirin." I couldn't believe it. And I started running. I ran out to the sidewalk. There were too many people out there. It was too busy, so I started running in the street. I'm running in the street, and the cars are passing me on my left side, and I ran into Liggett's drugstore at Lincoln Road on Washington Avenue. I knew the whole neighborhood, and I screamed, "Medicine! Medicine! This aspirin I need for the Swede! The Swede's hurt! Quick! Quick!" And the pharmacist came out, and he looked at me, and he took out a tin of Bear aspirin. It was yellow. He put it on the counter, and he said, "That'll be 26 cents. So I started digging in my pants, and I found a coin. It was a penny, and I put it down on the counter, and I grabbed that aspirin, and I started running back as fast as I could to the auditorium. I went into the back, and this time I walked right into the dressing room. I wasn't afraid anymore. I put my hand out. The same man took that yellow tin of Bear aspirin, and he popped it open. He opened it by pressing on the corner, and he took out 2 aspirin. He gave it to the Swede, and a glass of water, and he drank it. Put the glass down, and he lay down again. Now I knew it was time to leave. So I made my way out of the dressing room, and I went home. Now, for the last 30 years, I've been researching on the internet, looking for the Swede or his family, what his real name was. I wanted to tell them. I was that kid. I was the 11-year-old who ran. I got the medicine for the Swede. I saved his life. But I haven't found that family yet. You know, at that time I felt like I could help the Swede, but I couldn't help my dad.